Interest rates may sound like a dry topic, but the impacts are very real. When interest rates go up, that means higher borrowing costs for Americans on everything from credit cards and personal loans to even some mortgages. But on Wednesday, the Federal Reserve decided not to raise rates, at least not for now. In just his second meeting as Fed chairman, Kevin Warsh outlines the reasoning for keeping interest rates where they are. They've been set between 3.5% and 3.75% since December.
Inflation remains elevated relative to the committee's 2% goal. The committee remains resolute. You've heard this before, but we will deliver price stability.
But in a rare move, 3 members of the board dissented, arguing for a rate increase of 0.25 point to combat resurgent inflation caused by the Iran war. It's the first time that 3 members dissented in the same direction in nearly a decade.
It was a real family fight. My view, which you've long heard, is that's the better way to get policy right.
One of the dissenters, Lori Logan, the president of the Dallas Fed, signaled her opinion in a speech 2 weeks ago when she said, quote, "Unfortunately, inflation does not appear to be headed sustainably back all the way to 2%. Government data shows inflation spiked in the months after the war began in February, jumping by nearly 2% through May. But in June, inflation showed signs of cooling as a ceasefire brought oil prices tumbling down. But with attacks resuming in recent weeks, those oil and gas prices have shot back up, raising concerns about inflation.
Rates should be lowered.
The Fed has also faced pressure to lower rates from President Donald Trump, who selected Warsh and railed relentlessly against his predecessor Jerome Powell for not cutting rates fast enough. This week, the president dismissed concerns about rising prices caused by the war.
Costs are going down rapidly, and as soon as the war is over, you're going to see a big drop.
And there are still big open questions about whether the Fed plans to raise rates the next time they meet in September if inflation is still on the rise. And that uncertainty is in part by design. Warsh has advocated for giving less guidance about what the Fed will do so as to not put their thumb on the scale. Reporting here at the White House, I'm Evan Koslof for Spectrum News.